Interesting. I didn't know the flashlight could be on when I was recording. But anyway, so I haven't updated you guys in a long time and I apologize. I've been really, really tired. Um, but all that being said, I it was a really, really long day today. I got up at like 8 o'clock and I worked. Well, I went to church for like until like, oh goodness, 11:30, quarter of, and then I didn't have to work till 1, so I walked like halfway to work, and I had to go to the drugstore and pick up a pharmacy, oh my goodness, a prescription, and then I got a cab for the rest of the way to work because I thought I can't do this anymore, and um it's a really busy road, and I hate to like I'm sweating right now, sorry guys. I hate to like walk on it because it's a busy intersection and whatnot. But anyway, all that being said, so today I know I haven't been uploading church videos, and I apologize, but so today's message at church was really good. It was about parables, and then the pastor's son came and did a little testimony because uh, I imagine he's in his early 20s, and he went to Brazil and on a missions trip. And I thought that was awesome, and the message that he had, and you guys can see it. I will post a link in the description down below if you are interested. So I don't even know where to start. So I had my interview at Marshall's, and I thought it went really well, and I didn't get the job, unfortunately. That really killed me. I was so bummed, and now I just see it as a way of not going to Marshall's ever again, as far as I'm concerned. I spent so much money and time there and the whole nine, and I don't need them. I don't need the nonsense. But the whole point there was that they were only going to give me 48 hours a week anyway. So I thought, well, I could have it as a second job. And then that really ticked me off. So anyway, whatever. But that leads to another thing. So last week at church, and maybe I should post the link to that as well, there was a man who was a church member, and he gave his testimony, and he talked about replacing things for God, and that really spoke to me because of all the money that I spend. And yeah, and this week it really spoke to me as well because I want to have that charity, and I'm not promoting these videos to get like money or support or what have you, advertising or whatever for the charity. I'm not. But at the same time, I feel like God has been nudging on me and saying, Sarah, you need to get motivated with this. You need to trust me, because right now I don't really have the resources or the money or anything like that, the people to help me. But this testimony today with that young kid who just got back from Brazil, he said, God will make it happen. And that really spoke to me. So I'm like, okay. And hardly anyone was at church because it was obviously the 4th of July, the day before, and people were exhausted. So, and they had other plans. I'm sure they were taking a vacation elsewhere. So, yeah. But all that being said, you guys, that was something that I really needed to think of because, okay, so a while ago, months ago, I had sent a message to a man who was an assistant pastor of the church, and he said that he would announce my clothing drive. And, I expected to get a bunch of donations and stuff like that, but he never said it, and I just was quiet about it. So I have to get back on his case and, let him hear more about that. And it's kind of a good thing, though, because I feel like I need a storage unit for all of the donations, and at the time I didn't really have an income, and there was no way I could get a storage unit, and I can't keep the stuff at my house because I have no room here, and stuff like that. So this ought to work this time. And what else was I gonna say? So that guy was giving his testimony, and last week, so after the service, I went up to the pastor and I said, hey, I have a great story to tell, a great testimony. God is nudging at my heart, telling me I need to get up there and say this testimony. And he said, well, okay. And he gave me his email address. And he said to send him like a paragraph, I guess, of what you want to talk about. So I did. And that was right after church last week because I had the day off from work. And I did it with an AI program to help me. And I haven't heard back from him, and I'm wondering, maybe he thinks my testimony is too personal or something like that. I don't know. My brother is actually, I was at my brother's house yesterday. He lives with his girlfriend in about an hour away, and they are getting married. Yeah, so I expect to be a bridesmaid in that, and I'm kind of jealous in a way because he has that as a relationship, and the girl that he is with, I don't have anything on her. I'm a year older than she is, I think. She is so pretty. And I noticed that yesterday. And the fruit of the Spirit says not to be jealous and not to covet. But let me tell you, wow. She had not plastic surgery. She had like weight loss surgery. And I don't know how long ago it was. It was a couple of years ago, I guess. And she is, over the next few weeks, going to get like, what is that? skin removal surgery, which to me is absolutely disgusting. And she's got to be bedbound for 3 weeks. Yeah, so she doesn't pop a suture, which to me is even worse. It's not even worth it to me. Why somebody would do that, I do not know, but I'd rather have the loose skin than the scars and the nonsense of having to wait around for 3 weeks with stitches. No, thank you. That's like non elective surgery and whatever. She can do what she wants, obviously. But I'm sorry, but to me, that is just sick. That's absolutely disgusting. So I cried at the end of the church service today because, like I said, God was speaking to me, and they made us sing my favorite song ever. It is "In Christ Alone." I love that song, and I recorded me, and I just was sobbing. Oh my goodness, the tears were just coming out so bad, especially like in the beginning of the song. And so badly, I just wanted somebody to put their arms around me and hug me and hold me, and I just want to be held. I just want the arms to come around me and somebody to embrace me. And yeah, that's really tough for me, like the comfort of that and the warmth and I miss that so much. And I was thinking about that like all day after the fact. Yeah. So, unfortunately, that didn't happen. But, and my friend Darcy, the one who gives me a ride and whatnot, she wasn't there today, which I was kind of hoping she would be there so she could have given me a ride to the drugstore and to work. But it was alright. Thank God I had enough money in the bank, because usually I don't. Thank God I did for the taxi service. Because there's no way I felt like walking all that way to work after that. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened or whatever. I don't know. But if you've been reading my journal, you kind of know everything that I just said. I don't really think there's much more to say, but I did want to update you guys, and I will try to post those church videos soon. I'm 2 weeks behind, unfortunately. And the thing is, unfortunately, with today's video of me singing the praise and worship, I accidentally pressed exit, so like some of the songs are cut off, and I apologize for that, but I need to bring my tripod, my little tripod that I have. I can't find it, to be quite honest with you, so that's something I'll have to do before next Sunday. So I suppose that's about everything, guys. I just lay here. It's so quiet, and it's kind of like disturbing because I really miss hearing somebody's voice at the end of the telephone every night before I go to bed, and I really miss that. But, you know, I feel like this is God's way to say to me, you have to get motivated. Because at the church service today, they said, you've got to get motivated. You can't just sit there all day. That's not what this whole Christian relationship is all about. You've got to get up and do something. And I felt like that really spoke to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know where to begin. So hopefully those people, that guy Phil from church, I can speak to him again about the donations, and I can see, like, I was supposed to attend those classes, you guys. These classes about the church and all this other stuff every Sunday, but I can't because I work after church, so they don't really work out for me. But yeah, and that way, after all that, I can set it up so that I can feed the homeless at the church. That's what I would love to do. I saw this guy, and I should have recorded it, but this homeless guy, again, walking down the sidewalk when I went to go to the pharmacy. And this isn't the first time I've seen that, but God sends that to me as a reminder. Oh my goodness, he was like struggling so bad. He had this shopping cart that he was trying to pull, and I think the shopping cart was full of bottles to take back to the store for money, obviously. The 5 cent deposit. And, yeah, I felt so bad. I mean, that's not the first time I've seen something like that. And then, okay, so I'm walking, and I probably should have taken a picture or a video, but, I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's a guardrail, and there's all these woods, and there's like a river that I wouldn't call it a river, like a stream that runs through it. But anyway, right over the guardrail, I saw somebody's luggage and a bunch of stuff, like a teddy bear and all this other stuff. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's a homeless person's belongings. They live in this wooded area right next to where I used to work. And, yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I don't know, I think about the homeless quite a bit, and wow. It's not going to be an easy task either, because my biggest fear, and I have to give this to God, but like my biggest fear is that somebody's going to come into the shelter with a gun and start shooting, spraying bullets like all over. And I kind of want to have like a bulletproof wall or something, because I can just see that happening. And I want cameras, and I want security guards. 24/7 at the property. And I don't know, I can imagine like how the front entrance will be. There's going to be two double doors, and like in the middle of it there's going to be like a reception area, and it's going to be circular. And then like to the left there's going to be like a waiting room, and then like down that hallway there's going to be this huge, and I mean huge, animal rescue center. It's going to be at the end of the hall, and we're going to have cats and dogs and all sorts of stuff down that way. And then there's going to be an elevator. I mean, I have the whole thing inside of my head. This place has to be huge. Okay, seriously. And God has given me this vision for this place. I swear to God, this is how He is telling me how to go about this business, you know? And we're gonna accept donations of clothing and books, because I want to have this huge library. Because what else do homeless people have to do, you know? We're gonna be feeding the homeless day and night. We're gonna have this huge cafeteria. And then we're gonna have something like a teen mom center with free stuff for them. And then we're going to have, I'm trying to think, a huge clothing donation like area. Those are just like the basic things that I want to have. Maybe a huge aquarium. I was kind of thinking that would be cool. But I don't know. Like, it's a huge dream. It is. Showers for the homeless. And obviously beds. And a place where they can get their hair cut. And oh, what else? Like a nurse's station type of thing. Yeah, medical stuff. So basically, that's my idea in a nutshell. I probably would need a lot of insurance. I'm not trying to like discourage myself, but I'm just saying, like, cleaners, people to do laundry. I'm gonna have a ton of like washer and dryers for them to use, and I don't even know, like, I can see this place in my head. This has been a goal for me for several years, and I don't know. And again, I'm not trying to promote this by talking to you guys or having you guys say, "Oh wow, Sarah, that's, you're amazing because you do that," or whatever. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just saying this is what God has been speaking to me about, And I'm not sure where I'm going to put this building, but it's going to need to be huge. And it sounds like shotgun shells, but it's probably fireworks left over from yesterday. But boy, that kind of scared me at first because it sounded like a shotgun or something. Yeah, it's fireworks, okay? So, anyway, that's my idea. And it's going to take a lot to get this up and running. And I'm not asking for donations, believe me. You guys, I am not doing that. I'm not asking for volunteers. I'm not asking for, whatever. No, I'm not. I'm counting on God to do this for me. I need a huge storage unit right now so that when people donate clothing or books or what have you, I have the space, you know. But see, that's the problem. And again, this is something that God and I can work out, I'm sure. But if people donate their clothes, let's say, for example, at the church, okay, fine. Then how am I supposed to get them home or to the shelter or to the storage unit, right? I don't drive, you guys. I've never had my license. I haven't driven a car since I was 20. So, I'm terrified of it. So, I would need people to help me move those donations into the storage unit, let's say. And how am I going to get to the storage unit, Obviously, they have to give me a key. How are they going to do that if I don't go to the storage unit? You know what I mean? Excuse me. Those are problems that I've been deciding on in my head, but God is good. God is really, really good. And, I can imagine him thinking or saying, Sarah, seriously? You think I'm just going to give you this idea for no reason and not help you? There's got to be funding. See, and that's the problem. That's the problem in and of itself. So, okay, we need funding. And I can't really get the funding unless I am an established charity. Now, if I were to hire a lawyer, which I've tried to do in the past, I don't have the money. It cost thousands of dollars. Let's just say that. I could go on to I don't know, a website, and I forgot the name of it right now. I can't think of it. LegalZoom or something. And I could use that. Their services are a lot cheaper, but they're $600 or something. Still, it's a lot cheaper than using a lawyer. So, I think I'm going to go about doing something like that. Then I could get my charity's name established, okay? And, that would mean I could accept donations from people. And again, I'm not going to you guys about this for donations. I swear I am not. I'm just throwing all of this out there, okay? So, then I could have, I don't even know what they call it, but it's a form where you are tax exempt. I could do that, and maybe through God's will and God's way, we could get a lot of money and I could go about building this shelter, if you will, and the whole 9 yards, you know. I really hope I can do something like this. I want to take a lot of photos because I think I can imagine in the hallway of this place having a huge bulletin board, and I could update it every so often, but obviously in the beginning we're going to need pictures of like the donations and this place being constructed and the whole 9 yards. So I think that would be awesome for the people to see. We could offer, this is something else that I thought of, we could offer the homeless people free cell phones, and yeah, something tells me that it's gonna be quite a journey because the homeless are going to bring in a lot of disease, maybe, and dirt and drugs. And I don't remember how. Maybe it was online with something that I looked at, but they're going to take needles and they're going to go down the drain, or they're going to be flushed down the toilet or something like that, and that's going to be a huge problem, but you can't stop every problem, but that was something that I had thought of as well. It's just like the drugs is what all I can think about, like the needles, and how in the world are we gonna get them out of the toilet every time they try to flush them down or something? I don't even know how I got that idea, but I think it's the enemy trying to discourage me from doing this, Wow, they have a lot of fireworks tonight. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but wow. And fireworks are illegal in New York State, but yet they sell them. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all, but okay, whatever. Weird. But those things have been on my mind, and I don't really talk to anybody about any of it. And I want to place like a huge, like DoorDash order when I get this building up and running. I want it to be from like Sam's Club, and I want to order a lot of food. What in the world was that? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I heard somebody talking. But anyway, like, imagine how much money it's gonna cost for like the refrigerators and the stoves and the commercial kitchen and just everything, And again, I'm not trying to get money from you. I'm not trying to discourage me or you or anyone or what have you. I'm just saying, like, that is a huge thing for me, is the money thing. But if we get, okay, here we go again, right? if we get to be an established charity through like LegalZoom or something, I can write government grants and try to get the money from the government, you know, for free, obviously. So that's another way of doing things. That's what I mean about getting established charity and getting money and donations and stuff like that, you know. Like, that's the biggest thing right there, you guys. So, anyway, and like, I don't know, I kind of feel guilty doing this, like talking about this in a way, because somewhere in the Bible, I believe it was, that I saw, is that you're supposed to keep all of this stuff to yourself between you and God. And I when I talk about this with you guys, I don't mean it to be like, oh, I'm so wonderful, I'm doing this, oh, you know, God is giving me this plan and I'm going forward, blah, 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 blah. No, it's nice to have somebody to talk to, you know, and it's nice to share these ideas with people. Not so that they think that I'm wonderful, because I honestly don't believe that at all. And that was another reason today at church why I cried, like with Christ alone. Um, I cried because the kid speaking said God gave you a purpose. And I thought, you know what? That is so the truth. That is so true. God did give me the purpose. And now I need to act, you know, because quite often I can't tell you the amount of times I think in my head about how like worthless I am and how the enemy takes over and takes control of that and says, you know, you're an idiot or whatever. And the negativity builds up and you believe those lies, and you know, I don't know, but I was feeling happy today, like relieved, you know, like everything is gonna be okay and God's gonna take care of it. And you know, I mean, I encourage you guys, if you feel like it, to write down some ideas for this charity or whatever that I'm having. If you can think of anything, I mean, I would appreciate it, but I'm not gonna go to you and ask you for money. I think that is so inappropriate, seriously. And I don't want to bother you guys like that. That's why I don't sell merchandise. That's why I don't ask for donations or like have like a Patreon or whatever. Because I think that is so inappropriate, you guys. Seriously. Your money is yours. But there was a whole nother point to all that. Now I can't think of what it was. I don't know, but it might come to me later. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys. Oh, I know what it was. I appreciate you guys listening and liking and subscribing. I'm not asking you to do that because, again, honestly, I think it's inappropriate. I don't ask for that type of stuff. That reminded me that last time I posted a video, I got like 50 views on it, and I appreciate that. That means the world to me. It might not be a million views, a million, a billion, whatever views, but to me, that is great. I appreciate everybody listening and being involved. It means quite a bit to me. I know some of you are local and you know me in real life. Some of you know me in real life and aren't local, which is fine too. But I thank you for your encouragement and your inspiration, guys. Oh my goodness, those fireworks, they just won't stop. Last night, it did rain on and off, but not bad enough so that there couldn't be fireworks. But anyway, I guess that's about it. Let me see what time it is and how long I've been talking. You're kidding, right? 40 minutes? That flew by. I did not expect that at all. I am so sorry, guys. I like to talk your ear off because I don't really have anyone else to talk to in real life. You know, I'm baffled at that kid's testimony today about going to Brazil. And he said that it all started a year ago because somebody at the church came up to him and said, "Hey, I see you playing soccer in Brazil." And the kid's like, "Oh yeah, so what?" "Yeah, right." And all of a sudden he goes to college, and the college has this missionary group, and they were talking about going to Brazil. And he was speaking to these Brazilians, I guess you could call them, and they went up to the altar call, and I was just blown away. So, anyway, guys, enough of my chit chat. I just, for whatever reason today, I feel so much better. I do. And I don't know why. It could be the meds that I'm on now. I highly, well, how do I say this? I give God a lot of the, what's the word? Admiration or like credit that I feel so much better. And usually I am a mess. I am really anxious all the time, and I complain a lot. And today God just blew my mind once again, as God always does. You know what? Honestly, this is so weird. I kind of just paused for a minute right there. And all of a sudden, I heard God say, "Sarah, I am God. I can do anything." And I'm like, wow. Like he said to Sarah in the Bible. Yeah. That's not the first time something like that has happened. "Sarah, I am God. I can do anything." Now, I definitely believe that. But anyway, I gotta go. But thank you for listening to my chitter chatter, my nonsense, blah, 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 blah. It means a lot to me, and I will try to update more often. I apologize, guys. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm exhausted. I had a really busy day from like 8 o'clock this morning to like 9 o'clock tonight. So, anyway,